think it's on our hands, actually. That must have been, I don't know, we were eating some sandwiches earlier. Might have been something else on my hands. But not a series just yet, because it's 1-0. And Kwangdong Freaks currently are comfortably in the lead, as DRX did choose blue side again.
Are we going to run it back? I was not a fan of Zeka on the TF. I would much rather they ban it than give it over. I don't feel like the pick really provided them with anything, and oh my. Well, I don't think they're going to give it the TF first pick. They said Corky was the problem. Not sure that I agree. But let's see. Again, TF has actually dropped in prio, right? There's still teams like, I think Damwon is the most notable one that you can't give it to. Obviously, Kwangdong is the same. But there's been a lot of other situations where it's slowly dropped ever since the nerfs. It's just going to get first picked here again. And now the opportunity for guaranteed Nautilus pick. I don't know if they're going to lock the Zinzao for Elam again. I thought he had a wonderful game last time around. So honestly, Nautilus Zinzao here would make me perfectly happy.
Could be Volibear too. I mean, that's the one thing that didn't get banned this time around. They replaced the Volibear ban with the Corky ban. You know, I mean, there's no Hecarim on the Rift, but Volibear priority has steadily risen.
I like it. Yeah, I think it depends on what Elam feels most comfortable with. Personally, I think the Volibear is strong, but to me, it doesn't feel like you must pick this or you'll lose the game, right? It's just, it's a very all-round, evergreen, good early game.
Also, remember Ari?
No, that's not a, no. That's not that champion. No, I agree.
I had forgotten. But yeah, she's still in the game as far as I know. But none of these teams are really prioritizing her at the moment, so it is going to be that Volibear pick. Didn't get banned this time, so Kwangdong are like, hey, I mean, we can just grab that here.
Why not? DRX? I thought we had a mutual understanding.
It's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the Jace.
Oh, this is not my...
Oh,
no! DRX! Not the run back!
The instant curse! Oh, man. Yep,
Tryndamere.
It's just going to be the run back.
I wouldn't have loved Tryndamere more. And I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah, we can look at Muffin again. What? What? This is a bold six.
You know, the problem was Corky. Okay, Chronicler, the problem was Corky. But that's what they're saying. I mean, that's literally the only thing that we're seeing from this draft, from them. They have identified none of the other problems.
I don't feel like the problem was Corky.
I agree.
I thought the problem was also execution. And as we were walking off, you know, grabbing some water and grabbing our food, I was saying, you know what would be the most DRX thing to do is just draft the same thing again, be like, no, we can make it work the second time around. Well, that's definitely going to happen. They are probably going to switch out Lee, you know, because Viego's banned, so they pick Lee.
Yeah.
And then just go for Leona again.
What are they going to ban here fifth? Because last time it was Gragas and Sion. It was a heavy focus on the top lane. And yeah, this is what I was wondering. Do you ban away the Ornn and say, okay, we want to have Jace playing into something else? But yeah, the Ornn offered a lot in the last game, but there's still the Gragas, there's still the Sion, there's still the Malphite. Still a lot of stuff that you can pick in the top lane into this Jace and that one Ornn ban. I mean...
Whoa, I like this. It is...
It's like a blast from the past series here.
It really is.
Who's this champion? I don't remember.
And might you forget, Zoe and MF have a great interaction together because Sleepy Trouble Bubble doesn't care about MF Ultimate. It feels real bad. I'm going to tell you that up front. Yeah, it's Leona Lee Sin, right? Into what probably will be a Gragas. Is it a Malphite angle? I think it's okay. I don't think it's amazing. Obviously really good into Jace, really good into the TF, but Xayah, Lee don't really care too much. The amount of mobility they have available makes the pick a little bit worse. And I do think that Gragas works really nicely with Kwangdong Halfway already. The disengage it provides. The matchup as a Jace is just, and Keen is an amazing Gragas, so
yeah.
Even I am like, yeah, this is a great Gragas situation. Wonderful draft from Kwangdong, DRX. If it works,
are you giving them the red card that TF is showing them right now? Maybe a yellow card.
So they had a good early game, but the situation has kind of changed because previously they were playing into into what was, I think, a much weaker 2v2. But now you're playing into Volibear. It's not like the jungle 2v2 now is as one-sided as it was previously. So I feel like you're actually worse off this time around with this draft. Now there were some good moments. There was a good early game, and we have seen teams, most notably T1 at times, win the spike draft. I have also, of course, seen many a challenger game where I'm like, this draft is way better, and then they get absolutely stomped. Play will always trump draft, but my main thing is not even that this is a draft, it's just that it's the same one. And I feel like even if you get a different one that's maybe not as good, but at least it's something new. I feel like you might tread some old territory here with this from DRX, and I'm a little bit skeptical.
Well, they said they were going to come in with comfort, and they did not exactly execute perfectly in game number 1, so my read on this is that they say, let's give it another go. Let's give it another shot, guys. We can do better this time. Picks are good. Let's give it a shot. And we'll see if that works out, as they are going into the Kwangdong Freaks here with a new draft slightly. Some picks here that we do like, though. The MF comes in once again against the Xayah. The Zoe this time, which we haven't seen in a while, but great synergy with the MF, as you very nicely mentioned. And they get the Volibear and the Gragas, which I'm a big fan of right now, especially.
I think it's a really good pick. Even Blindable, although great Nas have been able to punish, but we've also seen plenty of Nas being picked into it and not really get that much done. And in Mini Na, you still need to navigate the matchup very carefully. And Keen has arguably been our best Gragas as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that overall, the Kwangdong draft has some similarities. The outscaling is not as prevalent as it was in game number 1. This is a draft that definitely is going to still do very well in the mid to late stage of the game, but is a little bit more reliant on staying even, staying on parity with your opponent. And again, depending on what build Keen goes, I'm expecting hybrid, so Everfrost into a tankier build, which is what we've mostly seen, especially with this rune setup, going for Scorch as well, to really try and pressure Kingen in the lane. See what we'll end up getting. At the very least, DRX is not as obliged to immediately win the early game, as Teddy, after last time around, said, I'm going to make sure you have prio, Ellen. We're not going to let them take your jungle again.
It's true. I mean, last time, obviously Xayah has some pushing elements. And with the MF, you go for the make it rain for harassment mostly. So they were able to get some nice prio down there on the bottom side. We're deft in barrel. They were playing it a lot more aggressively, but starting off down on the bottom side now, Teddy and Hoyd pushing that one in. I'm very curious about Fate's Zoe. We've seen it 10 times so far in this LCK. I mean, it must have been like in the first half, because I don't really remember too much Zoe, to be honest. And it's 5-5. So we'll see how he is practiced on this pick, if he's ready for a playoff match on a pick like this.
Into the TF, as we can see, favored matchup. I think it mostly has to do with the immobility that TF provides, and Zoe, of course, really good at finding angles, and if she's able to consistently land bubbles, I'm going to have a pretty bad time. As this time around, Ellen not having to worry whatsoever, as Pioshik panicking from the bot side towards top, and his bot lane has the wave in a much safer spot, so not going to feel nearly as worried.
Yeah, looking a lot more even to start off this time around down on the bottom side. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this game does pan out. Fate with the chilling smite already being very annoying in the mid lane here. As Zach, a little shout out to Showmaker using his skin here in this one. Barrel not going to use his skin. That's not the way it goes.
It's not what he does.
That's not the Barrel way. Should have mentioned it in game 1, but here we go again. And yeah, he's not that kind of guy. Elam definitely a much bigger opportunity in this game to be a force in the early to mid game, now that he has a much clearer path to just farming it out and not getting invaded.
Basically identical pathing here, coming through from both junglers. Both going to end up on opposite side of the maps. Do a late clear of the Krugs, just to get on the map earlier. Expecting Adam to go for the same path that we saw last time around, and so does Pioshik, so at the very least also going to clear up the Raptors. And looking very even. Teddy, of course, in the early games, strictly looking to get to that first back. It's really when the dirt comes through that you get a little bit more power. Starting with tier is going to mean that you hit your Mana spike earlier, but your early levels are, as a result, pretty lackluster. And not a lot of action here, at least for now, as both junglers just basically perfectly synchronized here. Pioshik has a little bit of a lead, but not really anything crazy. And wondering where we'll see the first action here, because there are great roam timers here. Both supports moving towards mid.
Both these guys just coming in here trying to get some vision down. There is a ward in position to spot Barrel, and he's going to clear that one out. So wouldn't imagine that there is too much action at this moment in time. I felt a bit bad for Kingen in game number 1 because I thought he was landing some pretty sick shock blasts, but it ended up not mattering as the game just got dragged along. But I thought he was having a pretty good game, and this time going up against less of a brick wall perhaps in the Gragas, as we do have Barrel joining in on the fight, trying to engage on in here. It is a 3-on-3 as Elam is nearby. And they're just going to back out of this one, not really going to overextend this time around.
Helen clearing his Grom first, and this is something we saw so much of in the previous game. And really what, to me, is the most surprising decision is this Xayah blind pick, right? Immediately going for that again, even though we saw the result of the matchup previously, as early Drake would be really nice here. For Kwangdong, Ellen has pretty great damage, bot lane shoved in. Don't have Prio on mid, but Zeka isn't 6 yet, so should be fine in that regard as well. And that is going to get a nice early lead here. Last time around, it was a very, very strong Drake, was Hex Tech, and we're starting off with a Cloud Soul, or a Cloud Drake, rather.
You know, Atlas is on the carpet space tonight, so his power is severely diminished in terms of his influence of making Cloud Souls happen.
I'm sure he'll get one.
I don't know. I'm not as convinced.
Ooh.
I don't think so. Did we have one yesterday, actually? Was there a Cloud Soul yesterday?
Yeah, I think he did.
I believe there was at least one. The problem is that, yeah, we always joke about it. Of course, we never miss an opportunity. The problem is that that series just ended so quickly that it was like, well, it doesn't really matter. As there is a lot of action around the top side.
Yeah, this is free minions, though. So I'm pretty sure Keen can just clear it and be fine. I was like, oh, action. No action.
There's a bunch of question mark pings in their own jungle for Kwangdong Freaks on that red buff. So Elam says, well, they're not on, he's not on his red buff. And we know he's on the top side of the map, so probably going to take my red buff. So definitely a good read here.
And yeah, Keen's pretty ballsy, also just using his cask to, or his barrels rather, to trade as opposed to trying to clear the wave, right? Even with some pressure on him towards the top side. As ultis for Prio, everyone, so Teddy can get his back in. Make sure that he's completely fine as the junglers clear each other's jungle. Again, perfectly in unison. But when you're playing towards your strong side, being an MF, you're feeling a lot better, because Gragas, kind of a nuisance. And, Keen, not really in any pressure whatsoever, as there is the Dirk, there is the double longswords. Now Teddy can really get going on the map, and it's 8 minutes, Veldes. You know what that means?
You know what that means, especially in this series, okay? Like, if you...
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
there is no bot lane. Lanes don't exist.
Yeah. These teams are going to fight. Yeah, they're definitely going to fight. If you're coming over and you're like, oh man, you know, the LCK, where's the action? I'm like, just wait, okay? 8 minutes. We're going to fight over the Rift Heralds, especially these two teams. So let's see how it does go. I mean, we got level 6 here for Teddy, but no bullet time just yet. As Elam is just going to go ahead and face check, gets rooted up, and has to jump away. Barrel not level 6, but might continue on this one. Is going to get the leash on here. We do have a trade in mid as well, but Elam will be the first blood that goes down as a huge snipe comes out from Fate. Gonna take him out, and now a big barrel on the backside. Kingen goes down as well. As you see, DRX get way out of position, trying to follow the chase into the enemy jungle, and Kane is gonna pick up a double kill now.
Not done yet.
This might just be an ace, man. Everybody's out of position. Guangdong Freaks, they came to party, and they were ready for this fight. DRX absolutely were not. Everybody gets taken down. And that is going to be 5 kills on the board now for KDF.
Well, maybe the draft was the problem, Veldos. Or maybe it wasn't, I don't even know. Because looking at this, it starts off very nicely, right? But this is the key issue that I think DRX has shown in this series. This is enough. Alum is out of the fight. You can just take the objective. Why are two people going this deep? Because the rest of your team
fighting over here.
Yes.
Like at the same time, like
yes. And TF gets picked off, doesn't even get to use his summoners. And these are exactly the type of fights that Zoe loves, right? Where it's not really a 5v5, it's just a couple of small skirmishes happening left and right. She can get so many summoners, so many skills. Keen, of course, on his Gragas, playing it absolutely beautifully. Well, they get Harold. That's something, I guess.
How did they do that? Everybody on the side of KDF, after the fight, they all went home. And I guess DRX, Pioshik immediately just ran at the Rift Herald, and they got that. And instead of going for the Rift Herald, well, I thought they were going to dive bot, but with TF off the map and the ability to just Destiny Gate for defense, I suppose that will just be the Rift Herald going to Pioshik at least.
Yeah, but the gold plate is a problem, and even with the plates going over, it's going to be like 300 gold. So that's still 1,000 gold you're behind. Gonna mean his second Drake coming through here. And coming into the series today, my main worries with DRX, honestly, were more going to be how do the individual players look. But it's a team as a whole, and the way that they're playing right now, that looks pretty disjointed overall.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I voted 3-1 for DRX. I thought that they were gonna come in with better, veterancy. They're gonna come in here and say, okay, we can get this done. Beryl and Def, they've seen every single stage of the world, right? These guys can lead this team. We're not seeing that at all. Like, this is not happening for DRX right now. And Guangdong Freaks are playing a great series so far, so it's both sides.
It's also, again, like they're trying to make a play towards top side, and King's like, well, what are you going to do? I have a lost chapter. I just insta-cleared a wave.
Yeah.
But you can't die from me. Even if they did have a wave, like, still Gragas, seen Keen get 1v3 wins before, and now, second Drake gonna go over to Guangdong. Teddy is feeling supremely confident here. Should actually be careful because he doesn't cleanse and Beryl is ultimate, but he realizes so as well. Yeah, Elam's gonna take this, and let's see what the Drake ends up being.
Nope, Infernal.
Oh god.
Now, there is one thing, the Infernal Rift, Zoe doesn't really love that.
True.
But I'm not sure it's gonna matter.
Well, that's, she doesn't like the Rift. The
but
soul.
She loves the soul, man.
Yeah.
She loves the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a bit of both.
He does. Oh, the read here as well. Guangdong more than ready for this. Yeah, the plates will come through. That's completely fine. It's more about denying the turret.
Deft is going to use that, and now he's going to get hooked, ulted, and 100-0. See you later, Zaya, as the turnaround here from Pioshik. They're trying to burst down Hoyt, and they do get him. But Teddy now running everybody down, and take a look at this. Fate gonna get the bubble down. Zeka is just gonna be zoned out of this one. It does look like Beryl and Pioshik will be able to walk this one out, but yeah, again, I mean, that's not the Rift Herald play you're looking for.
And honestly, I don't even want to go in too hard on Deft, because I genuinely feel like this is a draft issue. Like, why do we put him on the champion that we've already seen is effectively getting hard countered by this MF? Right? Like, yes, he's too far up, but still, I don't get it. This is a player that has had one of the best splits that he's had in years. And we keep putting him on blind Zaya, dude. And he keeps getting punished. Hoyt again with a wonderful engager. The immediate slam down comes through. And the moment that Featherstorm gets used, you know that it's free.
And Hoyt, once again, perfect positioning, uses his Hex Flash for the surprise. As Fate, oh, he's even going to use Stopwatch. I do not agree with that. As not even getting much applause from the audience. I think everybody knew that one was a bit of a whoopsie. As now the root underneath the turret, Hoyt will be able to walk this one out as well. But yeah, gotta be careful about giving your big shutdown over to the Xayah.
Definitely not good. Counter response is good, and Teddy will pick up the final plate before they all drop. And again, I do want to reiterate as much as I think what we've seen from DRX thus far is feeling a little questionable. Very different situation from game number 1. There is no very clearly outscaling draft. I think both drafts have elements that go very well into the late game, most notably Kingen, because he will actually be hard to deal with. And as we get further into the game, yeah, no idea. No idea.
I mean, he sees Death, so...
Yeah.
And Barrel.
Well, he sees Barrel. That's the main thing, right? So, just not great. It happens. As Hoyt gets tagged, but obviously he's going to be completely fine. But it's probably going to be a who can hit more skill shots between King and Fade. And the reason why, much more so than in game number 1, I do think that either team has a really big edge as long as they can get a mid-game lead. Oh, man. Ooh.
Okay.
Does he know?
There's a lot of roam squads right now on this Rift. It's feeling very dangerous at this moment in time.
Yeah. Cool thing. Whichever team's ahead has a great time because they're relying on hitting skill shots with Teddy. Might have to flash? Nope. Nah, he's fine.
Totally fine. And here comes the rotation now. Barrel has to be careful. Everfrost not going to land, but it slows, and that's the sleep onto him. There's the follow-up engage as the Volibear does slam down. But was it a beat? Oh, Pilsik with a big kick does come in. And now over the wall, you see Elam and Fate on the run, not able to follow up on that one.
All the damage being thrown into a Leona with Eclipse up. Bit of a bait. Teddy can't join that fight, getting zoned away by the bot side. So overall, nice play there from DRX, able to force bunch of flashes, Fates most notably, and get some damage onto this mid lane turret as well. And that's now 2 back-to-back plays while Guangdong Freaks slowly start to see the lead slip away. Oh, just does miss. Barrel's fine, but man,
yeah,
it's gonna make you a little bit paranoid. As yeah, crucially, this next fight, if DRX lose this one and you're forced to run into a Zoe comp, good luck. Not gonna be enjoyable.
I mean, face checking into Zoe MF and also Grog, Volibear, and Nautilus, it just really works well. Like, I think their comp is it's very clear in what it wants to do, right? You, if you get ahead especially, you can deny vision, and Zoe's having a fun time. You know, again, literally everybody's having a fun time on their comp, so we'll see if they can hold on to a lead and deny vision, because right now, I mean, DRX are going to get another Rift Herald, but that means they're not in position here for this break, but all the vision right now is in favor of DRX.
Yeah, and Def just backs. I mean, the Kwang don't know this, right, crucially, but I feel like they can just go.
Okay, we're going to engage onto the Nautilus here. Hoyt with no flash available, but he buffers that dredge line very nicely. He is going to tank this one down as the teleport comes in. Keen right on top of all of them. The Everfrost crucially not going to root anybody up, but the sleep into the cask is enough. And they take out Barrel, but down goes Keen immediately. Turn here onto Pilsik though, as Teddy is front to backing very nice, but Def, full health, full mana. As we will Destiny into the mid lane as Zeka tries to get some extra value. But he's not really in a position to take down the turret.
Crucially here, Drake not taken yet, and honestly, from both teams, some question priority towards the Drake. Drake is the most important thing right now, and it does look, even without the smart... never mind, that's fake. Good on you. Oh, do they know about the teleport? I don't think they see.
Okay, well, it's also a TF. He's trying to get on top of Fate, and that's the smite! The smite is gone! As now, Teddy's all alone. He's gonna go down. And how has this game turned immediately back on its head?
That was a baffling sequence of events there. As there's a lot going on. There is a vision control from DRX. There is their priority on a topside Herald, and the back from Deft, meaning that there's a perfect window. But then Guangdong have the perfect window and don't utilize it, and then kind of win the team fight, overextend into the Drake. Because, like, again, I feel like they have a perfect window here. The problem is, of course, they're not aware that Deft is back, I don't think. but they should still be more than happy to play a little bit more for the engage here. Crucially, again, a lot of ultimates, a lot of damage is being thrown into specifically the supports. So yes, Barrel dies, but that's not the end of the world. It's more about the subsequent play.
Big kick.
Yeah, as Ellen goes down, and then this is really nicely done, but like I don't get why Kwangdong then moves towards mid. Because like, just sack the turret. You get the soul. And instead, they don't see this. Otherwise, of course, Hoyt could have made a play. Zeka with an incredibly important, possibly game-winning play here, because it denies the Drake. It gets them some crucial shutdowns.
And we are fighting again. As we go here. The bullet time on a Pyosik, and now Def trying to frontline. He's got the double buff. Teddy forced to flash away. As with that recall, it should be enough. Teddy is going to get caught out as Zeka is there again. And he might be looking for more here as Element is trying to protect the Zoe, but it's not going to be enough. A double kill comes in now for Zeka, and DRX have taken huge control of this game.
Oh, that's a Kwangdong post 15 minutes, I guess, as they dive into two. Honestly,
I guess it's just Baron?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I feel like you're gonna, yeah, don't take a page out of the Kwangdong book, please. But as mentioned previously, like whichever comp is ahead has the big lead, and if a team overtakes the other one in terms of tempo, it becomes very hard to come back because, again, why are we opting into this? We're playing into TF. We have a Gragas without teleport. This is always going to be a fight that you're going to be down members on. And that's exactly what happens. And then the extended chase is really, really nice. Keen is unable to join this fight. And Kwangdong complete, not in two back-to-back plays, put DRX in a wonderful position. And I've got to say, Zeka was not convinced game number one. Game number two looking so much better than on TF here. Two extremely pivotal roams. Back-to-back, gets the Drake, gets a couple of kills. Now it's looking so much better for DRX and for the longevity of this series.
Yeah, I mean, remember at 8 minutes when it was 0-0 and I said, just wait, guys, just wait.
Wait for mayhem.
It immediately started, like, they did not give us any time to breathe after that. It's 18 kills at 21 minutes, and it's been 18 kills in the last 13 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, it took me a while to do that math, but we got through it. Yeah, so it's been absolute mayhem, and DRX have benefited the most from it as Zeka is over the wall with the blast plants, getting pretty spicy here with his TF play, but from this lead, I guess he can just abuse that and get on in there and help out the siege.
As overall, now DRX can feel so much more confident, right? If you have the vision, Fate's damage is going to be so much harder to land. Zoe went from what I think was 2-1-6 to 2-3-6, just two back-to-back deaths, really swinging the momentum in this game. Picks up the Zhonya's now as well, and not the biggest fan of that. Feel like more damage would have helped out a lot more. At least going to be able to Zhonya's things like Zaya ultimate or maybe a gold card, but generally still going to leave kind of an awkward position.
And then there's a couple of other things for the Zoe too. Not only is she going for more utility build and less damage, she's playing on Infernal Rift, does not have the Infernal Drake that came out here. Also, the Zoe turret, you know, we've got Wolf on our casting team. The Zoe turret is still up. DRX have held on to their mid-tier 1. And that means that, you know, they're not able to close out as much vision. They were never really able to get a full grasp and full control on this Rift. I suppose that's the value out of the Zhonya's. We'll see if he can survive. He is going to flash away. And now you're playing front to back, as in the backside, once again, there's a blue card. As I mean, I like the color blue, but probably not the right choice. But that's okay. DRX just trying to push them away before this Infernal Drake just come up.
Oh, Keen, he's looking. Still has Flash available as well, and they need to respect the playmaking potential of this Gragas. But I think that it should be DRX's Drake, and stacking Infernal Drakes on a comp like DRX's is going to mean that subsequent damage from King and Deft is going to be monstrous to deal with.
Fate just teleported top.
Oh yeah, they're not contesting this.
Yeah, but you know, big cooldown. It didn't look like that turret was going to go down, but either way, just trying to push out the lane and maybe trying to get a turret of their own.
Oh,
Would be nice if they could. Trying to use some of this tempo on the backs of that Infernal Drake. So Fate actually with that teleport should be able to take this top turret. So at least getting some gold for his team.
and man, that gold swing has been so incredibly impactful, right? Because now you see the humongous leads that are found for DRX here. Not even Kingen, who was really the biggest benefactor last time around, but most relevantly on Zeka and Deft. Zeka also the cleanse available, still sitting on stopwatch as well, so collapsing onto the lead, which sometimes feels like one of the more likely ways of dealing with one of the deeper flanks. Not going to be an option this time around.
Zeka totally fine here. Just trying to take care of the vision right now as Kwangdong Freaks, as this Baron is up. It never got taken, of course. And they're just trying to deny as much deep vision in their own jungle around this objective as possible. But to be honest, I mean, I don't think the Baron is really the biggest issue. It's the next couple of Drakes that will be coming up here. And if Kwangdong can actually even contest them, because you were talking about 2 Infernal Drakes, but 3 Infernal Drakes and potentially 4 into a Soul might just be a win condition for DRX.
Oh, well, definitely.
It'll just be
Might be.
I mean, I say that because, you know, this game it's gone off the rails.
No, that's a good point. It's a good point. We can't presume to know the outcome
never know.
of this game. Yeah, I could see a team get Soul and then still lose. It's happened in the past. We've seen it happen in front of our very eyes. Witness the horror.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, DRX, they still have pretty nice siege, at least with the Jace and the TF, so just gonna push mid, come down to the bottom side, push bot. Zeka takes some damage, but the cask is, you know, a bit optimistic, I would say, as now Keen is out of position and down he goes. I mean, just trying to make a play. He's got his whole team there, but the cask, it does not hit. And then he just puts himself out of position. So DRX with another turret here, and just chomping off huge chunks of the map right now.
And the more we see, the more likely it looks like DRX should be able to just really close out this game. Now, that's what I said about Kwangdong as well. So, got to be a little bit careful with statements like that.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at my itemization, I don't feel like there's any significant breakpoints. Like, yeah, Fate's gonna hopefully go towards a... I think actually Shadow Flame is not too bad here. I personally prefer the Death Cap to try and just nuke as much as possible, but there is a fair amount of Merc threats as well as a Locket on the enemy team. So maybe they want to go into a more voidy direction. I mean, I'm
Embrace the void.
I am. Yeah.
The call of the
I'm
void.
a big Embrace the Void fan. But for Kwangdong, yeah, even if you hit that spike, right? Even if Teddy gets his Cyrildas, which normally is such an insane item, with how far behind you already are, like, it's going to become so hard to actually find any opportunity. LM is a Vodibeb from behind, which is a deeply unsettling, unenjoyable, and
deeply saddening state of
really
affairs.
Yes, you do not feel fine or happy about that whatsoever.
At least he gets to summon the lightning, as Deft has done insane amounts of damage already in this game, and he's even more fed now. So you can see the amount of poke damage he does with this lethality Xayah is pretty disgusting. Zeka, this time around, holding on to the lead. Very different from game number 1. He's actually able to side lane here.
Oh, that's big.
It's a big pick here onto Kingen, but he will have his flash available. As now trying to turn here onto Hoyt, who is left all alone, and Death's damage is just gigantic as he's just going 1v3, but he's going to get rooted up by the Zoe, and that's enough damage. A couple of kills now for Teddy. And that's why you never say never in this series between these two teams. The game is not over, but it's 20 seconds until the Infernal, and Kwangdong might be able to grab that one.
Huge wave top side, they're going.
Oh, gonna hit the bubble, and that's going to be another dead member of DRX. Down goes Kingen. Kwangdong Freaks are back on the map.
Well, at the very least, they're getting Soul Point. I don't know if that's enough, but it's something. Oh, please, someone catch that top wave. It's so many minions. As it was Comet. Comet got deft. Teddy just saw that Comet fly. Nice. got the bird. That's going to be soul points and...
Ooh, objective bounty.
Oh my god, yeah, they get bounties as well. I still feel like DRX should be ahead here. But I'm
now you're second guessing.
I really am, yeah. That was a sequence of events that honestly within the context of the game should be expected at this point. As
all right, looks like Hoyt is going to be picked off here. He does have the blast cone though, thankfully.
Ooh.
Without addition to the game, the Nautilus does survive. I'm not a big fan of the plants.
You really don't.
Haven't made that too public, but I really like the plants.
I don't get it. That's fun.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not for me. Maybe for some. But it shows in the series, right? Like, if you get one pick off with the Zoe, there is still potential. They still do have a ton of burst damage. But again, DRX are still in the lead. So as long as they don't make any mistakes and nobody gets picked off, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. But if Kingen is going to beat his team by getting caught with a bubble and then, you know, going a little bit too far into a bullet time, then you might have some trouble.
It becomes a game of who can dodge the bubble versus who can dodge the shock blast. Basically the mini game we're playing here. Of course, Deft has a lot of poke as well. Zeka, if he hits a card, can decimate people. But that's basically what it boils down to.
Uh-oh, there's the burst again, but stopwatch this time is going to come out, so Beryl will survive, and now here's the turn. Hoyt will bite the dust, but Beryl nearly does himself, throws out a solar flare as the bubble nearly catches him there on the backside. Even Pioshik's taking a bunch of damage. These two teams, man, it's like they're just throwing rocks at each other over and over. It's one huge snowball fight.
Side lanes aren't real if we don't want them to be real, Valdez. We don't care about the side lanes.
Making Jonah Strong's job real easy right now, that's all I'll say.
TF. You can definitely, you know, pay some attention to those. But no, that's not good, old-fashioned, honest League of Legends. 5v5.
TF, it stands for take fight.
Why not team fight?
No, take fight. We take fight in the mid lane.
They're going!
And yeah, they're gonna do it again. As, you know, you're going straight into a Zoe and an MF. Just keep that in mind, DRX, because I feel like we may have lost our way here a little bit in this game.
Okay. We're gonna keep fighting. Well, it's 2 minutes till Drake, and that should be the next fight. I feel like DRX should win that. But at this point,
that's your overall feeling. It feels like it's a
yeah,
weather. It's like a weather broadcast, you know.
Well,
it's like
they're 6.5K gold ahead.
There's a high chance of DRX winning the fight, but we cannot be sure.
Yeah, this is the.
It's just calling that Zaya's
oh, that comment, man.
Slow. And yeah, I mean, he caught that Zaya was slept. Very nice catch by him. And here's another replay.
And crucially here is that both the bubble doesn't actually find the angle on Barrel, and his stopwatch is really, really nice. Throws a solar flare to make sure that he doesn't die, but doesn't actually have any room for follow-up. But again, why are we in a position where that can happen? I'm not too sure. I think that Deft also going Collector as well. Maybe looking to a BT Lost with that Vamp Scepter to give himself a little bit more survivability. But honestly, I wouldn't mind a Maul. I think Maul in a situation like this could actually provide you with all the value. You feel like the main win condition here is indeed Fade, although Teddy might have something to say about that. And I think it's shooting gallery. I just don't know who is shooting at who.
Very true. As Keen, you know, on the backside, Zeka also with the Destiny onto the bottom side here. And Hoyt, you were left alone!
No!
Your team took the blast plant, and that's why I hate the plants. So you can hurt your teammates. Yeah, that's a nice little pick here from the side of DRX. They're going to take out the enemy support, and now Infernal Drake here in 20 seconds.
They left him at the bottom of the ocean, Valdez. They left him behind.
Oh.
Look at him. Betrayed. Yeah, so that is going to be the soul points for DRX as well. And It's really hard, right? Because I do actually think that the DRX comp has some issues when it comes to actually forcing out, but you have a fat Jace, right? You have a TF, you have full vision control.
Take fight.
I don't appreciate you not taking. I'm trying my best to Val.
I'm sorry.
You're not giving me a lot.
Let's get a slow-mo of Hoyt actually being backstabbed by Teddy here.
Where's the LEC song? Reckless with my heart. As Hoyt is like, I got him, I get him, guys. We no, guys.
Nope.
No.
Teddy was out of there.
No.
Had to save the life of the 80 carry, I suppose. And yeah, that is the Infernal Soul point now for DRX. So 3 Infernal Drakes, you would assume, should be enough.
On the flip side, the deeper we get into the game, the less relevant the gold lead is that DRX have.
True.
So we're back again in red side jungle.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Zeka, who currently has Destiny, up in the top lane, right? That keeps you up. Or you could just have him get caught and give 1,000 gold to Teddy. That's also an option, I suppose. And yes, another huge hook comes in from Hoyt. And with the Baron available, I mean, 5v4, they are definitely considering it here.
Oh, that's a big risk. It's more about, I think they're just looking to start the fight, kill some more people, and then maybe you can go for the Baron. Fish for those bubbles.
Okay, there's one bubble on top of him, and there you go. There's the combo. Beryl is going to have to flash out of that one. And man, this game is not over. It is not over.
If DRX lose this one, that's going to be a rough one, fellas.
Oh boy.
But they can't go for Baron, I don't think, because they're still, everyone is alive. Zek has TP, and so it doesn't actually, matter.
You know, I think that DRX, if I had to give my professional opinion, I think they're going to return to exactly this exact same spot on the map again.
Yep. Oh.
He just says, yep.
Hey, I love team fighting. Remember when the LCK stood for literally can't kill? No more, Valdez.
Yeah, we have evolved. You know, maybe we should have pressed B.
Oh!
Sure, that was a massive cast.
I thought I was going to get him.
Yeah. Def just flashes. Pyosik, okay, but the follow flash comes in. DRX trying to create fights here. They take fight in mid lane, and Pyosik's going to go down. Fate is going to be able to... Zonya's out of the gold card.
Oh, crucially, Hoyt, I think he tried to use his... I'm not 100% sure. I think he tried to use his ultimate on Pyosik, but Pyosik died before. So he still has ult as well?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Destiny's down. He used it to teleport into the river.
But they can't go for Baron. There's too much damage.
Okay.
So...
It's rough. You know, it's one of these games where it's like, on the other side, you're fighting directly into Zoe MF, but on Kwangdong Freaks' side, you're fighting into TF and Xayah.
And Jace.
Yeah, and Jace. So it's like, how do we engage? How do we do anything?
Another attempt. Teleports are there. The King in and Zeka.
They spot the ward, but they...
running. Yeah, no.
They don't.
Peace out.
Okay. Couple teleports used here. Fate has an extra flash. Could consider a play here onto Def. There is the bubble, as he does have his ultimate, but that is not enough. And he will get dunked down by Fate, who immediately takes that kill and says, thank you very much.
Okay, now they all need to back, and then all need to run to Drake, and then maybe we can get a definitive break in this game, Valdez. I don't know. That was teleport. Honestly, I think DRX has a pretty good angle for a quick Baron here. Crazy as it sounds, although a lot of the damage, of course, gone with Def now getting taken down. Went for Ravenous Hydra, actually, so let's do a lot of AoE damage, and I don't know. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Fate with the amount of flashes that he has.
Slap. Xayah.
Yeah. And now it feels like maybe after so many twists and turns, has it twisted and turned again?
Yeah, it all comes back full circle. It's a Mobius strip, and we are getting
gold down.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they are bending the rules of Summoner's Rift right now. And DRX, I mean, they still have 3 Infernal Drakes. They still have a good comp. They still have the ability to fight this. It's just got to be clean as the cast comes through. Barrel not going to get over the wall here, so...
Oh, that's a big old gone.
Yeah. Fate's taking some poke too as Zeka is way behind enemy lines. Doesn't look like they saw him. I don't think they have any idea. This Fate is going to pop forward. And Sleep does come in and Barrel immediately goes down. That's the end of him, but now the flank comes in from Zeka. They're going to get onto the MF. Fate is the one guy they need to get down here as well. Keen is finally going to be cleaned up. Zeka with the stopwatch. Can they get on top of the Zoe is the question, but Fate, he's got a Zhonya's, he's kiting them out, but Elam is going to be left all alone, and now Hoyt is heroic with this block of the Shock Blast. As now we're chasing down the lane. Can they end the game for DRX?
That's what they're going to try. It's a high-risk play. Again, Zeka, that might have been the flank that breaks it off after all. It's going to be enough. Fate is full health.
Oh, man.
Very fed.
He's got a... Okay, He doesn't even have a life. Not able to use the portal jump there. Otherwise, he goes down. That is finally going to be the end of this game. 17-16 in kills, 40 minutes. 18-16, that is, and that is going to do it. We are tied up. And